weekend. I just got home from dropping Song off at daycare. The mornings are a rush every morning. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some mom life updates and answer some questions about postpartum and working mom life, which is, it's a whole thing. Today I'm working from home. I like to get ready every day. Makes me feel good, you know? I'm actually going on my first big international work trip since before having a baby, and also honestly before COVID. I am feeling really nervous about leaving my baby for so long, but I'm also excited to travel because it's been a while, and it's honestly one of the greatest things about my job. John is going to be here with Song, and I know they're going to be completely fine. It's honestly just going to be me that has a hard time missing both of them, especially Song. I guess that's one of the things that comes with working mom life. Last step is always some kind of jewelry. Earrings. Earrings are honestly the most transformative, easy thing to throw on that makes me feel really cute. I've been wearing this pair from Luisa nonstop. I wear these almost every day. I've had this pair for about a year now, and they still look brand new and haven't tarnished or faded or like chipped at all. Luisa is a jewelry brand based here in New York. They offer great quality, long-lasting pieces at an affordable price. All of their jewelry is 100% strength and humidity tested. This is really important for me as a mom of an active toddler. He's climbing me all the time. I'm just like running after him. This is what they look like on. I love the shape of these hoops because they're not just, you know, your normal round. They just have a bit of elegance to them. I can't wear like cheap costume jewelry anymore because it really irritates my ears, but I love the quality that I get with Luisa, and my ears are never like uncomfortable. I recently got a couple more pieces, and I'm really excited about these little chunky hoops. They're so cute. I also really love that the jewelry at Luisa is crafted with sustainability in mind. The brand is climate neutral certified and carbon neutral in their practices and their packaging. Supporting brands that care about their impact on the planet in the future is really important to me and makes me feel good about the pieces that I love to wear. This is what their packaging looks like and what each of the pieces are shipped in. So for each piece, you'll get one of these pouches. The bag is like a really thick fabric quality, and it has these nice magnetic snaps that are really secure. These are actually perfect for travel, so I'm going to pack up all my jewelry in these for my trip. I do have a 20% off code to share with you, and it'll be down in the description box if you're interested in checking out the brand. The pieces start at just $39, and they have super fast, reliable shipping. I think it's free in the US and pretty affordable for worldwide shipping. We're gonna jump into these mom life questions. We're gonna be talking about postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, dropping Song off at daycare, and what it was like to transition into working mom life, which is honestly always a work in progress. So the first question is, how did you handle the anxiety of going back to work and having to drop baby off at daycare? The very short answer to this question is that it was very hard, like really hard. Even though I had a pretty long, for US standards, maternity leave. My maternity leave was around 4.5 months. I definitely didn't feel ready to leave my little baby and go back to work. My best answer for this question, or anyone kind of preparing for this, is to find childcare that you can absolutely trust. So when I first went back to work, my mother-in-law was our nanny. When Song turned around 11 months and became more mobile and a little bit harder to handle, that's when he started daycare. I'm gonna say that we are extremely privileged and blessed to be able to have access to really good quality childcare options. We pay so much for daycare, but John and I always say that it is worth every single cent that we pay because we know that he is so well taken care of by his teachers. He's having so much fun with his friends. He's learning. We just feel so good about having him there. We're gonna be a little broke for a while, but honestly, the peace of mind is 1000% worth the money. The next question is, what was it like transitioning into mom life from corporate life and back? This is kind of a two-part question, so I'll kind of answer it that way. For work, I am the head of the footwear design team at a corporate fashion brand here in New York City, and I'm 15 years into this career, so I have been working for a long time. I was really ready to take this break from working and really shifting my focus on to maternity leave and being a mom. But let me tell you, it was really not so easy to just like flip the switch after working all these years, being on this grind. Looking back at this now, I think this kind of bled into my experience with postpartum anxiety and depression because it really was such a huge lifestyle change in my like day-to-day and really what it means to feel productive. So it took me a while to like get into it. It took a while. It was rough. And then the next part of the question, going back to work. Going back to work was really tough because I finally felt like after 4.5 months, I was like getting into the swing of things. I was getting the hang of being a mom. I felt like I had my routine. Like it felt a little easier. And then it was just time to like change everything again and go back to work and like new routine, like new everything. So that part was really rough, but honestly, my best advice here for my past self and other moms in a similar situation is really to just like be so kind to yourself. Truly. I was definitely my harshest critic and it caused a lot of inner turmoil and angst. Like I would try to remind myself that, you know, all of this stuff, all the feelings of difficulty, the resistance, like all of it was temporary. You know, in the moment it feels really hard, but you will eventually get the hang of it. And honestly, I didn't really feel like I was truly like back in a good rhythm at work until a good 6 to 8 months back on the job and like getting used to a new routine. Okay, let's just take a break. Now here's a big question. Did I experience postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression? Yes. I think this is really important to talk about in this space on these platforms because it is so easy to show the magical parts of motherhood. You know, the very edited and ideal picture of, you know, what it's like to be a mom. And I have definitely been guilty of like consuming a lot of that content, watching a lot of that content. And although I've always wanted to be a mom, I was so ready, right, to have kids. But then, you know, postpartum really hit me hard. Like the crash and up and down of hormones right after you give birth is really hard to navigate and it kind of makes you feel a little crazy, honestly. I cried all the time, like sometimes because I felt just really overwhelmed, and honestly sometimes I just cried and I had no idea why. It's really like your hormones are so in flux and adjusting. There's such a huge change that comes when that baby arrives. Truly, everything about you changes. As prepared as I tried to be and I thought I was, looking back at it now, there's no way I could have prepared for that. Another huge part of this is that while you're going through all of this and your body is healing, your partner is not necessarily going through the same thing. Now, that's not to say that, you know, the dads or the partners aren't going through their own thing because it's a huge life change for everyone. Not their fault. It's just that they can't experience the same thing as you. It's just the reality of what the situation is. It was definitely hard to go through all of this and your partner isn't really sure how to help or what to do. Now, I am not saying that John didn't help because John is the best dad and the best partner I could have asked for, but there just wasn't any way for him to really understand the things I was going through because he just couldn't. And honestly, like I couldn't really explain it even though I wanted to. It just felt not explainable. So I did start seeing a therapist that kind of specializes in like new moms, postpartum, like virtual therapy once a week, and that really did help, just kind of like laying it all out on the table. And honestly, just time and patience. My hormones were all over the place, especially because I was like breastfeeding and pumping for a really long time. I pumped until Song turned about 8 or 9 months. So your hormones are constantly going up and down even from that. My advice to like my past self or any other new moms would be to take the help that is offered to you from your support system. And if you feel yourself really slipping, ask for help, which is hard. I'm like oldest daughter syndrome, want to do everything myself, super independent, but I really did have to ask for help, or at least like be vocal with John about how I was feeling, like telling him like, this is how I'm feeling. I don't know why, I don't know how to fix it, but like this is what I'm experiencing. I didn't go on any medication. I honestly think it was like a lot more of anxiety. Your whole life changes, your whole perspective of the world and yourself changes, honestly. So it's quite a lot to process. Me to constantly remind myself that, you know, postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression is very, common. Even though it's not talked about a lot, I think all moms experience something to that degree in their own way. Like everyone kind of has their own version, their own experience of it. Moms that say that it was a total cakewalk for them, God bless them. But I think the majority of moms that I know and I talk to, it's kind of a collective understanding that it's the most amazing thing ever, but it's really hard. Make sure to talk to people, whether if it's not your partner, if it's a close friend or your mom friend, somebody. Just talk to people and don't shut yourself away from everyone, because isolating yourself will not make it better. And just know that it will get better. I think it really took until Song turned 1 for me to really feel like I was coming out of it. Like I was emerging from the fog of new postpartum motherhood and finally starting to really be able to enjoy it and be really present. I was really hard on myself. I think we all tend to be. Just try your best not to be so hard on yourself. It's such a fragile time and you just did the most amazing thing, bringing another life into the world. It's gonna be okay. Just cut yourself some slack, truly. I'm just also constantly picking up toys now. Last question is, how did I make or find time for myself? So when I was younger, I always wondered why my mom would stay up so late. So my mom worked a night shift, but no matter how late she got home, she would always stay up, drink a cup of tea, very leisurely. And now that I'm a mom, I can completely understand why she did that. And it's because most of the time, late night after everyone has gone to bed, the dishes are done, that's the only time a mom truly gets to herself. When there's no one else around to tend to, there's nothing else I need to do, that is the best time. So of course, sometimes you just need to go to bed to try to catch up on sleep, but that quiet time to just rest and decompress. And I know all the moms out there, you know what I'm talking about. That is our time. Now that I'm back at work, I do prioritize getting to bed at a decent time, but in those early days, especially maternity leave, that late night was really important for me to check in with myself, see how I'm doing, mindlessly scroll, write in my journal, watch a show, anything. Just something for yourself where it's just truly for you. That is maybe not what everyone wants to hear about how I make time for myself, but I do think consistently that is a really important way to get a little bit of time for yourself. The truth of the matter is that as a mom, you have no time for yourself. None. And for me, it's an ever-evolving mission to prioritize myself. I also try to find time for myself in the very small little things in the day. So making sure I'm doing my skincare, putting on a cute outfit, listening to my favorite music, putting on jewelry even though I'm sitting in my living room in a t-shirt. Getting myself something new and shiny once in a while, it's nice and I deserve it. Those are things that make me happy and make me feel good, and those things really do add up. Remember, I have a 20% off code in the description box below if you would like to check out Anna Luisa. You'll get 20% off your purchase. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I truly appreciate your support and attention. I'll see you next time.